Hey guys, Teanna Branae here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I make chicken salad. It's one of my favorite lunchtime / snack meals to make. So I hope you guys enjoy this recipe and I hope you find it useful. I will be sure to make sure I'm as thorough as possible when going over this, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So to start, I am going to boil 2 eggs. You can boil as many eggs as you want to boil, how many eggs you like in your chicken salad. It's completely up to you. I am going to boil 2 eggs. And once again, I do want to let you guys know this recipe, it is for chicken salad, but I use this same recipe if I'm making crab salad, if I'm making tuna salad, salmon salad, whatever. I use this same recipe, so the recipe does not change. The meat changes, but the recipe itself does not change. So for this particular recipe, sometimes I do use canned chicken, but today we are going to cook our own chicken for this recipe. Like I said, you can use canned. If you use canned, obviously you don't have to cook it. It's already cooked, but we are going to cook our chicken today. So I'm just going to get a skillet, put a little bit of olive oil in there. You can pre-season your chicken. I'm not going to, but you can do that. I'm just going to clean my chicken off camera. I didn't clean it on camera. I cleaned my chicken off camera. I'm going to put it in that skillet with that olive oil, and you guys are going to see me season it up. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and put my chicken in the pan. Like I said, you can season it off camera, outside of the pan. I just did it for this recipe today. Sometimes I season it out of the pan, sometimes I don't. It really just depends on how I'm feeling. But today I did not season it outside of the pan. Also, the amount of chicken you want to use completely depends on how many people you are feeding. This was just for me and my son, so I was just making a small container of chicken salad, so I didn't need a whole lot. We're going to season with some black pepper, I'm not measuring, everything is eyeballed. I do want to say be careful how much you add, and I'll tell you why in a second. We're going to do black pepper, we're going to do Lawry's seasoned salt. If you don't like seasoned salt, you can use regular salt. You can use, I know if you like pink salt, Himalayan salt, whatever salt you like, that's what you're using. I'm using seasoned salt. We're also going to put some balsamic. This is a personal preference. You don't have to have this. I like the way balsamic tastes. So I put it on pretty much everything. It just gives it a nice smoky flavor. If you don't buy balsamic, if you want that same effect, you can use Worcestershire sauce. It'll give that same effect because it just gives off that smoky, vinegary taste. But it's completely up to you. And as you can see, I'm just tossing the chicken around into that balsamic and that seasoning. Like I said, if you want to, you can season separately. I just did not. And you just want to cook until that chicken has that nice brown color. Also, I do want to let you guys know, if you want to, you can boil your chicken. You do not have to pan sear it. I like to pan sear mine, but you can boil it with no seasoning if you want to. It's completely up to you. If you want it to be more like the chicken breast that comes in the can, I would suggest just boiling it, not pan searing it. Also, the reason that I'm not putting too much seasoning is because I'm still going to go back and season again after everything is mixed up at the end of the recipe. So I'm also going to put onion. I'm using red onion today because that's the only thing we have in the fridge. I am not a red onion person. I prefer white onions, but I didn't have any, so I'm using red. You can use whatever kind of onion you want to use. They're all going to taste good. But this is the one we had today because we always have red onion and white onion, but we were out of white onion, coincidentally. We usually always have it. I'm just cutting it up really small. You want to just chop it nicely. Don't talk about the fact that I'm using the wrong kind of knife. I know. And you're just going to put that in a bowl, whatever bowl you are putting your chicken in once it's finished cooking. Just throw the onion in there and set it to the side. Also, you saw how much onion I use. The onion depends on your personal preference. You can use more, you can use less. You don't have to put it if you don't want to. It's completely up to you. If you're using a lot of chicken, if you want to put onion and you're using a lot of chicken, I do recommend putting a lot more than you saw me put. But like I said, that's personal preference. Okay, so now that our chicken is done, we're gonna go ahead and get it out of this pan. And you guys can see what it looks like. It has that nice brown color. A lot of that color does. You have to give credit to the balsamic for that, but it's really good. It has a nice gray color. I'm just gonna break all the chicken up. You can pull it apart however you want to pull it apart. It was still hot, so this is what I'm using. I do not recommend using tongs and a knife. The tongs were really not sturdy enough for this. I probably should have got a fork or another knife to hold it, a butter knife or something to hold it down with, but we made it work. You just want to break it up and you want it to be shredded. Shred it how you want it to be. As thick as or chunky as you want it to be. Just make sure you shred your chicken. So I'm just going to shred all of those pieces up, and they're going to go into that bowl that I just put the onions in. Alright, after you finish shredding, this is kind of what you should have. And we're going to go ahead and keep adding our seasonings in and our flavors. So we're going to add mayonnaise, relish, and some yellow mustard. I don't know if everybody uses the same three things. I feel like everybody uses relish and mayo, but I don't know if everybody uses mustard. You can use whatever kind of mustard you like. If you like regular mustard, chipotle mustard, whatever kind of mustard, I'm pretty sure they all will work. I'm just using yellow mustard today because that's what we have. And this is what I usually use. So I'm going to go ahead and get those three things in there, and I'm going to get those mixed up. Once again, I'm eyeballing all of the measurements. But here is my trick and tip for you guys. Start with too little versus starting with too much. If you start with too little, you can go back and add more as you taste it. If you put too much, once it's in there, it's in there. So I do recommend, if you're not gonna follow a recipe that has like measurements to a T, which I never recommend for these types of things because everybody has their own preference of what they want their salad to taste like. Start with too little, and then you can add more as you go, and then you can tweak it, and you haven't completely ruined the meal. So after you get everything mixed up, we're gonna go back and we're gonna add actual seasonings to it now, which is why I said don't over season your chicken, because you don't want it to be too salty when you go back and add your extra ingredients. So we're gonna add paprika. Paprika is my favorite thing to have in any kind of chicken salad, tuna salad, salmon salad, crab salad, potato salad. I gotta have paprika. We're gonna add some crushed red pepper, not too much, because if Julian wants to eat this, I don't want it to be too spicy. I like to add Tony's Creole seasoning. You don't have to have the Tony's, that's a personal preference for me, but you can still have it and it tastes good without it. That's just something I like to add. And then I go ahead and get all that mixed in, and we're just doing this while we wait really for our eggs to finish boiling. So you just want to keep mixing it, and then now that we've added seasonings, it dries it out a little bit, so you're going to see me go back and add more mayo, which is why I said it's better to start off with too little, because you can always go back and add more to get it to that consistency that you want. I should not be using this little plastic fork for this. Don't do what I did. I don't know why I did that, but just keep adding and mixing as you go until you get the consistency that you want. Alright, and once your eggs are done, they say you should sit your eggs in a bowl of ice water. I don't do that, but I do run my eggs under the cold faucet before I try to crack them. I suck at cracking eggs. I'm not gonna front. You guys are gonna see me struggle over these eggs for a little bit. Like I said, I did 2. You can do as many as you want to do. You're gonna crack the eggs. Pretty simple. I have a hard time doing it. I've always been terrible at cracking eggs, but just crack the eggs, and then we're gonna cut them up and break them up so that they can go in the chicken salad. Okay, so the eggs are in. You guys saw me add more mayo because once again the eggs dried out the consistency that I had going, so I had to add more. This is kind of what you're gonna see towards the end. You can always add more mayo. Like for example, my husband, he likes his whatever kind of salad a lot more mayo-y than I like mine. I like mine a little drier. So like that's why I said it's all up to your personal preference. I like to spread mine out and make it nice, flat, and even, just so it looks better. It doesn't like just a chunk of slop on a plate or whatever. So I spread it out, make sure I flatten it, and then you guys, I like to top mine off with paprika across the top of it, just to make it look cute and it tastes better. Paprika also adds a bit of that smoky flavor to it as well. And that's pretty much it. I hope you guys love this recipe. I like to eat mine with Ritz crackers, which is what I'm going to have this with. If I don't have Ritz crackers, I use those Keebler Elf Townhouse crackers. But I absolutely love this recipe. I hope you guys enjoy it. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. If you have not already, let me know what you think about this video down below. And I will talk to you guys in my next video.